What's up guys, it's Tyler with RC-2 Powder Coating, and today is going to be an instructional video on how to set up your RC-2 and kind of the parameters that work well for me on starting spraying. So these are the contents that you get in the box when you purchase your RC-2. Nothing here is need to be purchased separately. This is everything included. You got your power cable, you got your gun and your power cable to your gun. You got your 12 foot of air line that goes from the control box to the hopper or the cup. You got your ground clip right here and your ground wire. You got an O-ring. It's either going to be black or translucent, and this goes between the cup and this little neck right here. You're going to put it in there to keep powder from leaking out. That seals it up. You get a fan tip that is included with this one. You get your conical tips right here. It also comes with the larger cup than the RC1 and the control box right here. So setup is really simple actually. There's only a few things that you're going to have to do right out of the box to get it going. It comes with everything you need to spray except for powder and the parts obviously. But so right here, here's the port for the gun. So you're going to line up that slot with this little piece in here. It'll slide in and you'll thread that on and you're going to be ready to go with that. The gun will be hooked up and ready to use. And then you'll take your airline hose and it will go on right here. You'll take that nut all the way off and you'll slide it over this airline, and then you'll slide the hose or the airline over that little nipple and then tighten the nut down, and that'll lock that in place. And then next is going to be, while we have it backwards, is the ground clip. This will take this little eye right here and you'll take this wing nut off and you'll mount it on that. I know some of y'all are going to use this as your ground. Ideally this is meant to actually ground the control box, not actually ground your part, but since it is tied to the ground in your electrical system, it will work like that. But I definitely suggest running a ground rod. That's going to get you optimal coverage no matter what system you're spraying with, all the way from beginner to pro level. That is the ideal situation that you want to be to do. But what I'd recommend doing with this is hooking it to the control box and then grounding it to your booth, your rack, your ground rod, your hanging rod, whatever you're going to be using. But you can do however you want with that, but I would recommend an 8-foot ground rod. So we'll take the cup, and you're going to want to thread this. Don't forget to put the O-ring in place. I'm not going to do it for the video, but you'll thread this in right here. And then once you have your airline attached to your box, you'll take the other end and you'll slip it in this quick connect here, and then you'll be ready to spray with that. And then also the power cable goes right here, and then you'll plug that into your wall. It's a standard 110 US plug. If you're in a different country, you obviously need an adapter. The system accepts 100 to 240 volts, so if you're in a different country, all you have to do is buy an adapter. There's no need for converters, inverters, transformers, whatever things y'all might have to typically buy to buy something out of the US. And it also comes with the standard Type M quick connect plug that's typically seen here in the US. I know some countries that's not standard, so you might need to adapt on that on your end. But that's pretty much it for the contents and the setup. Like I said, it's very simple. I'm going to go ahead and get this plugged in and set up real quick, and I'm going to show you how to adjust the kV and the microamps. Alright, so you got your RC-2 all connected and hooked up, powered up, ready to go. Next thing we need to do is get your adjustments set. So for this one, this is your air pressure and regulator gauge, or your air pressure gauge and your regulator. To do this, you'll just have to pull this little cap out and you can adjust it there. I don't have an airline hooked up right now, but if I did, this would be adjusting it right here. I typically like to spray around 20 psi. You may be a little different. It depends on what you like. That's what I like, and I do adjust from there. Sometimes I go up a little bit, sometimes I go down. The next step is going to be to adjust your kV and your microamps. To do that, you want to make sure either your air pressure gauge is down all the way, or your airline is disconnected from your cup, your hopper, whatever you're spraying with. And then you want to make sure that you're not touching the electrode on the end of the gun, because you do have to squeeze the trigger to adjust this. So you want to squeeze the trigger, and I already have it set to where I like to spray with it. I like to spray around 75 kV and 60 microamps. That seems to work well for me. That is what I sprayed the blue wheel and the pink and teal frame with in the previous video that you might have seen. It handled all stages very well. I didn't adjust the kV and the microamps one time when spraying those. It seemed to handle that very well, like I said. So like I said, I have this set to where I like it, but I will show you. Just turn this down a little bit and you can hear the kind of the static changing in the gun. But yeah, you want to get that dialed in to where you like it. So anyways, like I said, that setting works well for me. Might be a little bit different for you. Everybody's got their own spraying style. Everybody's got a little bit different finesse with the gun. So that's a good starting point. But you know, like I said, play with it a little bit, find what works well for you. And what works well on one part might not work well on another part. So that is something that you will have to adjust on the fly to see what works best. If you have any more questions, feel free to reach out to royalpowdercoats@gmail.com with an email, or drop a comment in the section below and I will get back to you, and hopefully we can get you squared away. So hopefully this helps. Until the next video, see y'all later.